I dream big, but never end up taking action. Does this sound familiar to you? I've watched this exact pattern come up with client after client, and it's one of the most common things I see. They dream big. They have the whole vision, the goal, the whole picture of the life they want and desire, and then they actually do nothing. No, internal work, no visualizing, no working on their belief system. It could be that, or it can be like they go in bursts, they get really excited and they take action for like a week and then it fizzles out. And every single one of them walks in believing the same thing about themselves, that they're lazy, that they're broken, that something is wrong with them, because they can see exactly what they want and still can't seem to move forward. If you've experienced this as well, I'm here to tell you, you are not lazy, you are not broken. There is a real specific reason your brain does this, and it has a name and a mechanism. And once you understand what's actually happening in your brain, you can fix it. That's what I'm going to walk you through in this video. If you're new here, hello, I am your Muse Traci. On this channel, I help you unlock the power you already have but can't access. I help you break through where years of trying has already failed. And the biggest hurdle of all, I help you go from intellectually knowing the law to permanently embodying it. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to join me here and subscribe to the channel. So let me start with the first piece of the neuroscience, because you have to understand what your brain is actually, how it operates in order to kind of make some headway here. Your brain was not designed to make you happy or fulfilled. Your brain is designed for survival, keeping you alive. Its number one job is survival, keeping you safe, conserving your energy. All of these things come into play. And a lot of them are happening on a very deep subconscious level. And to your brain, safety means familiar, the known, what you've already survived. It's going to bank on, what you've already survived, you can survive again. Now, a big dream or goal, by definition, is probably unfamiliar. It's new territory. Your brain has no map for it. So even though the dream may be exciting to you, maybe a burning desire, some older, deeper part of your brain is flagging it as risky and potentially quite dangerous. And it responds the way it responds to any threat, by trying to keep you where you are, out of danger, out of threat. That resistance you feel, that strange heaviness the second it's time to act, that is your brain pulling you back towards the familiar to keep you in safe territory. It's not actually your weakness. It's a survival mechanism doing exactly what it was designed to do. And there's another piece here as well, and this is where it ties into everything I teach and what Neville taught in his work. Your self-concept. Your brain is wired to keep your actions consistent with who you believe yourself to be. Neville talks about this in, I believe it's The Power of Awareness, his book, Power of Awareness. He talks about your free will. A lot of times we're talking about, does SP have free will? Does my boss have free will? Do other people have free will? But in this one, it's so interesting. He's talking about your own free will, right? It's very interesting. If you haven't read this, go check out his book. I believe it's Power of Awareness. Let me know if I'm wrong. But what about your free will? Okay, so what was Neville talking about? Well, Neville says also that you have no free will of your own other than to change your conception of yourself. Now stay with me here, because if you just hear you have no free will and you click off, you're missing it. So let me explain. All that you do and all that you say, this is how Neville explains it, is happening automatically according to the concepts you hold about yourself. So this explains exactly what I'm addressing in this video too. If you dream big, but then never actually, do anything about it, you don't do anything, perhaps you are still in the self-concept that doesn't achieve big. You have big dreams, but you're not actually the person who achieves big or lives in this big, ideal picture. That's not who you say you are, right? So this is Neville also talking about what neuroscience has also uncovered. Your brain does not like the discomfort of you behaving in a way that contradicts your own identity. So if you're dreaming big, but underneath you still hold the identity of someone small, someone who doesn't finish, someone who isn't the kind of person who actually does these things, your brain will resolve the conflict by keeping your actions matched to the old identity. And you will have no free will to change it, right? So no amount of willpower, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to, finally, today I'm going to do it. No, it's not going to work, because everything you do, everything you say is happening automatically according to your conception of yourself. So you'll keep acting like the person you believe you are automatically. It's all happening automatically. Not the person you're dreaming of being, but still see yourself not as. I think that was confusing, but you guys, I hope you got what I meant there. Poor English, perhaps. So this isn't really self-sabotage. It looks like it on the surface, but it isn't really. It's the mechanism of your brain. And it's what Neville was describing as well. It's your brain maintaining consistency with your current self-concept. So now let me tell you about one of my clients, because she had big dreams, a huge vision for her life, and she'd done all the things that, we're taught to do. The vision board, the detailed plans, the journal, the 5-year plan, the scripting, and she came to me completely defeated after doing all of this, because none of it had turned into any tangible results. She'd get lit up. She'd map it all out, and then days would pass, and then weeks, and she'd really done nothing to move closer to her goal. She was convinced by this point that she just didn't have discipline, that she was fundamentally lazy, and she was carrying a lot of shame about that. And, I'm pretty intuitive. I knew right away this was not a lazy problem. I can see what people are telling me and, how things look. I'm very good at seeing what's below the surface. And she herself had convinced herself that she was lazy, but I knew she wasn't. I just knew it wasn't that cut and dry. That was something that she kept landing on because she didn't really have another explanation. But I knew this wasn't a problem of laziness. No, there was something else going on. And so when we actually looked at what was happening, she would clearly see every threat response in her brain was firing because the dream was so far from her current life and current identity that it was, it was signaling danger. This is danger. This is unknown, 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 unknown. And underneath all of it, she held a core identity of being someone who starts and never finishes. Someone things don't actually work out for, right? So this was her self-identity. So her brain was faithfully keeping her acting like that person, no matter how big. She kept dreaming and visioning. She had to look at the concept of herself. Neville has also said, there is nothing more important than your concept of self. I don't care how much you sit down and visualize. You can get results, but are they going to stick? Are they going to fully manifest? Are they going to fully be the thing? I don't know. If your concept of self isn't changed, everything is you, as within, so without. So you get my ponderance here. I hope you get it. It's something good for you to ponder as well. I want you to ponder it. Okay. So once she saw that it wasn't actually her character flaw, as I had suggested, but actually a set of conditioned beliefs that she was still holding about herself. Everything was able to change because beliefs can be worked with, right? Beliefs are changeable. I'm going to keep saying it until forever. Let's just put forever on it. Beliefs are changeable. And beliefs can be, once they're identified, you can then make a choice about whether you want to keep it or you want to ditch it. So what did we do? Let me tell you a little bit about exactly what we did and what you could do too. So the first fix, close the gap between her dream and her self-concept. Because you can force action through willpower for a little while, but if your identity says you're someone small, again, what you do, what you say is all happening automatically, and you're not going to be doing those things. So the real work is becoming on the inside the person for whom this dream is normal. The self-identity has to change into the person who it's normal to have this ideal life, whatever that is for you. When you genuinely hold the identity of someone who does big things, who follows through, who actually achieves, the action stops being a threat to your mind because now it's just congruent. It is congruent with who you are. You're no longer forcing yourself to act against your own identity. You are simply acting from it. That's easy. That's going to happen automatically. And the way you build that new identity is, of course, through repetition. In the state where your brain is most open to it, that drowsy space right before you go to sleep, you can rehearse being the person who now has the life that you desire. You occupy it night after night until it stops feeling foreign. Remember, your brain is designed to resist the unfamiliar. So you make the new identity familiar through repetition. You run it enough times that your brain stops flagging it as, foreign, dangerous. It's a threat, right? And once it feels familiar, the resistance melts away. The second thing is to make your first action really small, really, really minor. Because a big dramatic action towards the dream will kind of just be like a tripping point, right? So let's start small. Let's start really, really small to start to build the momentum, right? A step so small your brain doesn't even register as a risk, as dangerous. That's going to, that's not going to have a lot of resistance. Your brain's going to be like, yeah, we can do that. Cool. So start small, and every tiny action you take gives your brain another piece of evidence that you are, in fact, the person who does this. You're not just imagining the new identity, you're proving it in small, real ways that start to accumulate and add up. And the last piece is that you stop trying to act your way towards the dream and you start acting from the identity of already being that person. When you are the person, action isn't this huge mountain you have to climb through willpower. It's just what you naturally do. The person with that life doesn't white knuckle every step. They move the way the person moves because that's who they already are. You get the being right and the doing follows, right? Like Neville was talking about. It's going to be effortless, just like it is now. He said automatically, happens automatically. So that's super easy. And that's exactly how it went for my client. Once she stopped just fantasizing and started naming the real obstacle, which for her was that deep belief that she never finishes. That was a big one. The shame lifted, because now she was looking at a specific thing instead of a vague sense that she was broken somehow. And she rehearsed the new identity at night, the woman who follows through until it starts to feel natural and normal. And she made her steps small enough that her brain didn't flag, danger, panic. The change wasn't, this drastic overnight thing. It was quieter and more integrated than that. She just started doing the things a little at a time, Without the enormous internal battle she used to have, the resistance that had stopped her for years, it kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking because she'd stopped fighting her own brain. And within a few months, she made more real progress on her vision of her dream life than she had in the years of just dreaming about it, and not being able to take action. And the thing she kept saying to me was that it finally felt easy. Like she wasn't battling herself. She wasn't fighting this internal battle and struggling uphill for forever. It's not meant to be that way. So here's what I want you to do today. Take your dream, whatever it is, and instead of just fantasizing about it one more time, name the real inner obstacle standing in the way of it. Is it the belief? Is it the fear? Is it the old identity? So that's your first step. Then start becoming the person for whom that dream is normal. Who would you be? And rehearse it. Rehearse it tonight before you sleep, and take one small step. So small, smaller than you think, maybe. Start small. This is how you will build the momentum so that you can watch the resistance start to disappear. And remember, you guys, if you have this label on yourself, like my client did, I want you to start saying to yourself, you were never lazy, right? This isn't a matter of being lazy. Stop labeling yourself that. Like my client, she thought she was just disorganized, not motivated. She had to stop telling that story about herself, right? So once you see the real mechanism at play here, you have to tell a new story and then get to working with this mechanism, instead of working against it and then blaming yourself. I'm going to put some videos here in the closing screen, some really helpful videos if you want to keep going further with this topic. This is definitely something that I like to talk about. So these are some more helpful videos that I've already posted on my channel. And if you want my help closing the gap between the life you dream about and the person you're being day to day, that's exactly what we do in my coaching program when we work together one-on-one. You can click the link down in the description. There's also a link in the pinned comment where you can book a free one-on-one call with me. We can get on the call, see if we're a good fit to work together. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next one.